Welcome to the Wildcast podcast, coming to you from Wildcast Studios with your hosts Adam Lund and Jeremy Boucher.
Welcome into Wildcast Studio on Rogers TV for another episode of the Wildcast podcast, QMJHL Finals Edition, your unofficial voice for all things Moncton Wildcats, presented by Alpha's Appliance Solutions, the premier destination for KitchenAid, Whirlpool, and Maytag appliances. Right now, they got the KitchenAid built-in savings event. Save $600 when you purchase any 3, $800 when you purchase any 4, or $1,200 when you purchase 5 or more qualifying KitchenAid major appliances. Qualifying purchases made till June 4th. For those and any other deals, go to appliancesolutions.ca. As always, fan listeners, I am your host, Adam Lund, and I am joined by your favorite co-hoster, Mr. YQM, Mr. Starbucks, Mr. Stanley Cup, and Mr. Man of the People, Mr. Jeremy Boucher. Have you recovered from Sunday night?
A little tired, very tired, actually. It was a game went a lot longer than we had hoped, and we saw just how close it was to not even needing overtime.
Yeah,
I think there was, I'm not sure who it was on the penalty kill, but they were maybe a quarter of an inch, half an inch from intercepting that pass that went to Fauchon, and then that happens when we're not even in overtime. You know, we probably got an empty net goal, but that's just the way life is.
Yeah,
you know, it was that close to being won in regulation, but when it's the finals, you know, you don't expect there to be, you know, you expect every game to be close, and we're seeing it.
Time to go to bed.
So I got home around 11:30.
Yeah,
there was some leftover lasagna in the fridge, so I just ate that cold because I was starving and didn't want to wait to another 2 minutes to warm it up.
Classic 11:30 meal.
Oh yeah. So 2 pieces of lasagna, and ice cream cake. So that was not just any ice cream cake, Dairy Queen ice cream cake.
Oh yeah, you gotta. Yeah.
So there was I threw that down, fat camped it, and you know, even at that point, you know, 12 o'clock, there was still so much adrenaline going through my body that I could not fall asleep. I probably went and watched the OT winning goal 10 times.
Wow.
Trying to find the RDS call and could not find it. I just gave up. I just kept watching the TSN call. Finally found the RDS call on Tuesday morning. Watched that a few times. Messaged Lauren because I wanted to know the name of the song they play in the dressing room after the games.
Yeah,
that's like a French song.
Oh really?
And so she gave me that. I listened to that on repeat all day Tuesday.
What?
It's a friggin' banger. Like, it's such a good song. It's a French song. You wouldn't understand a word of it.
Oh,
but
what did they listen to that there was a song they listened to this year that we heard when we were doing one of our interviews. They must have changed that for the playoffs.
I think so.
Oh,
but it was like it's a French song. I don't understand the lyric. You wouldn't understand it at all.
Probably not.
But it's just got such like it would put you in a happy mood.
Yeah.
So I've been listening to that on repeat, you know, ever since Monday morning.
It's kind of the same with Pink Pony Club, the Oilers, knowing that they use that. Yeah. Not for very much longer if Stuart Skinner keeps playing that, but yeah, it was the same thing. I got home at 11:30, put the show on YouTube, and I was like, I don't feel like doing a live because I was tired and I didn't want like 6 people because everyone else was tired. But if they're all running off adrenaline like we were,
yeah,
they were probably still awake. So I got all that put on there, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna phone my mom. I'm gonna phone her on Mother's Day because it's 3 hours before. So I had a good chat with my mom while I was eating Cheetos, and then at 1 o'clock in the morning, I was like, oh, I kind of hear things. I'm going to check my phone. Oh, baby's awake. Got to go, Mom. Bye. And put her to bed in her Merlin suit and went to bed at around 2 a.m.
See, yeah. I couldn't do that.
So you're being tired at 11:30. Are you getting ready? Like, you ready for newborn life?
I feel like these late nights are giving me good practice.
Yeah.
As long as there's going to be things to watch on TV at every hour of the night.
Yeah.
And at that time, first week of June, you're probably into this game 6 or 7 of the semifinals, and then you get the finals the week after. And
NBA, you're a big NBA guy.
Well, big. I'm a huge basketball fan. Yeah, I could name you 5 players in the league.
What if one of them aren't LeBron or Steph Curry?
Jalen Rose still play basketball?
No. Good
Uh,
Indiana Pacer though.
Who's that? Is it Damian
Lillard?
Lillard? He
Yeah.
still play? Yeah. And there was one I heard the other day. It's a long name. Benedict Mascarpone.
Oh, maybe I don't know that one. I thought you were gonna say Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Oh, the Greek freak.
Yeah. Yeah, big basketball guy.
Yeah, I know 5 players and about 10 teams.
Nice. Yeah. So the Stanley Cup semifinals is what you're thinking. Yeah.
And I'll pray
and
for
YouTube and lots of
Yeah.
It's that extra hour journey every hour is fun. And when I'm a night owl but not a morning person, so to get up at 3 and 4 and that was worse than getting up at 2 a.m. or 1 a.m. for me. What are we, a month out? How are we doing?
Yeah, so full term, officially full term. We're going to be getting onto the some red raspberry leaf tea, I think it's called. I guess it helps with inducing labor.
Yep. We gave you some tips that still didn't work, eh? Breast pump.
Oh, we started.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a good
it's a good haul.
Good milk collection. Yeah.
Good couple bricks.
Yeah. In the freezer. So those are just being held there for the hospital. And this tea apparently helps with induced labor. The new unit at the hospital opens on Wednesday. The first baby born there gets free diapers for a year, compliments of Mr. Irving. And Wednesday just happens to be my birthday. So, and I've been saying all along, I've been saying my birthday, and it just happened to be the day that the new unit at the hospital opened. So I'm just like, is it going to happen? But I don't know if you want it this early or not, but there's been no.
Well, she's almost full term, right?
Yeah. Well, she is.
Yeah. Okay.
37. So there's nothing really that concerns us at this point.
Yeah.
No development issues or anything like that. So if it's Wednesday or if it's during the third period of the Memorial Cup championship game, God hope not.
That's how you know. That's exactly how you know if your boy is a hockey fan. If he shows up during a hockey game, that's how you know he's a hockey fan.
I'd rather Wednesday than the third period of the Memorial Cup final. Yeah. So let's anytime between Wednesday and May 30th is perfectly fine to me. I'm
kind of jealous that you guys get to be in the new hospital, but you know what? You get a nice single room. Mm-hmm. You get a chair that actually folds all the way down. I have a chair. You get a chair that folds all the way down. Because behind labor, that is the second worst pain, is being the dad that has to sit in those chairs. So you get a full chair.
I'm actually planning on buying a single air mattress off Amazon.
Smart AF.
And just bringing a blanket and a pillow. So I'm ready. I'm sure they'll have blankets and pillows there for me anyways.
Yep.
But Eric Murray, that's a quick note for you too. Is air mattress much better than probably the chairs they have at the Mountain Hospital?
I can confirm that they are better than the chairs because I had like 3 naps in the chairs on the first day and they suck. They're loud, so every time you move, it's like. But I got lucky because we were in a double room and we came upstairs in the double room at about 11:30. The other family was just getting ready to leave, so they were leaving at like 3:00 was their discharge time. Mm-hmm. So. Once they left, I said to some of the nurses coming in, I was like, can we move all of our stuff over to the window? Because the window, it's the same size, but just you get that little shelf by the window. And they're like, no, we like to have everyone in the same room for nurses and we just know where you are. And I'm like, okay. And then the next time, like can I just sleep over there then? No, because the cleaning staff doesn't like it because, I'm like, you guys realize I'm going to do it. Like I'm going, it's going to happen. I'm just being nice to ask you. And I didn't say that to him, obviously, but I think they realized because Layla has the comfort boxes and who she was and having the rainbow baby in there, I think they filled some other rooms. So for the 2.5 days we were there, we didn't have to worry about any other families coming in. Obviously, if I would have, we would have moved, but I got to sleep on an actual hospital bed. So I was I don't know why I just knocked on wood. Felt like good. I was very lucky in terms of that. But yeah, Eric, if you can get an air mattress, get an air mattress.
Yeah.
To any of the fathers out there that are having kids, air mattresses are the way to go. This new unit, you're going to be in your own room with lots of extra room. So it's pretty amazing. And I hope that, I hope you are the first. So you get diapers, and B, you get to say I was the first. And I need to see that picture on the selfie wall.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
Yeah.
The selfie wall is gonna be fun. But inflatable camping mat, single air mattress, lightweight sleeping pad, $39.99. And it's got one of those foot pumps, so you just pump it up yourself.
Nice.
Cold proof, waterproof, water resistant. $40.
Also, little tip: if you can, go into labor at like 11:30, head to the hospital, park when there's no parking meter, so you just press your ticket, get your ticket, go in, and then stay for 3-4 days. And then when you leave, you pay for 1 day parking.
Wow.
I was like, are they going to charge me 3 days, 2 days? Like, She's like, I don't know. Because Layla was like, you should go feed the cats. Because I'm like, I'm not leaving because then we got to pay for parking every day.
Yeah.
So we left, and it was 3 days of parking, and we paid the $12 or whatever.
Nice.
Not like Halifax where it's free, but hey, I'll take the win when I can get it. So little tip: if you're going to have the babies, have them nice and late so you don't have to pay for parking on that first day. As always, don't forget you can follow us on the social medias: Twitter, Moncton Wildcast; Instagram, Wildcast Podcast; TikTok, Wildcast Podcast, as well here on YouTube. Don't forget to like and smash that subscribe button. A, it lets us know you like what we're doing, and B, click the bell because we're going to the Memorial Cup.
Not me.
Technically, we are. You're part of the coverage.
Okay.
Layla and I were accredited to go to the Memorial Cup, so we will have Wildcats daily shows. This guy will be joining me every day. We'll have different guests, wall-to-wall coverage every day on YouTube as well. Post-game shows on YouTube after Wildcat games only. Nobody needs to hear me talk about London and Medicine Hat or London and Rimouski after the game, and I told my wife I would not do that for those games. Wildcats only. So click the bell. You won't miss any of our daily coverage at the Memorial Cup, which I'm pretty pumped to go to and pretty nervous to go to as well. Like,
I'm kind of jealous at this point, but
you'll get there. Megan will have that baby early. She'll be like, you know what, Jeremy? You go.
In 3 years when it's back around here.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Allegedly.
Sources say. Then I'll be there.
All you had to do, CHL, was put it here, and all your problems would have been solved.
I think I'd probably even be able to go.
I think you would. I think you would have. I think that 3.5 hour window, I think you'd have been okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I would have just sent Layla over there. Go hang out with Meg.
Yeah. Go have girl time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's man time.
Yeah. Hot girl mom time, and we'll have dad time.
Yeah.
Let's go to some blind rankings. Let's go to some blind rankings. Let's have some fun with that.
Yeah. So I kind of hinted this one to you earlier today. I've got a list here of, believe it or not, songs that are turning 20 years old in 2025.
Perfect. Yeah. So you got the How to Make Us Feel Old.
Yes.
For context, I had a 1-year-old when these songs came out. Haley was born in 2004. A 1-year-old. That's how old these are.
I'm going to kick it off with a song title I have mentioned a few times on this show in the 7 or 8 years we've been doing this.
Yep.
Might Give a Damn's Busted by Jody Messina.
Oh, Jody Messina. That is a good one. Oh. I'm going to put that at 7.
Oh, good start.
Yeah.
Good start. All right, let's follow that up with We Belong Together by Mariah Carey.
10.
Oh.
I don't like, yeah. Not a big Mariah Carey fan.
Best of You by the Foo Fighters.
Oh. So now we're getting up into top 3 ranking. I'll go 3.
3, okay. We're going to go with Holla Back Girl
Yeah.
by Gwen Stefani.
Yeah.
What a great year for music.
See, what I should have done was I should have looked at lists to see what I think you were going to go with. I'll go 6 for Hollaback Girl.
Okay. Photograph by Nickelback.
Wow.
An homage to your hometown.
An homage to my hometown. Yes. Fun fact: if you go watch that video, that is my hometown. That is Hannah, Alberta. Not the first part where he's walking. That's I think Drumheller, but the rest of it's Hannah, Alberta. I'm gonna go 2. I'm gonna go 2 for Nickelback.
All right. Where am I at here? Candy Shop by 50 Cent. I take you to the candy shop. I'll let you lick the lollipop. Go ahead, girl. Don't you stop. Keep going until you hit the spot. Woo!
The only reason I love that song is Step Brothers when the guy at the wedding is singing it. He's like, take you to the candy shop. And he runs up on the old lady. And the guy's looking at him. He's like, just flips off. I'm going to go 5 on that one. Oh, that's such a... That guy in a couple of those movies. I think it's Old School that he's in that too. So good. So good.
Incomplete by the Backstreet Boys. I know it was your number 1.
Yeah. Backstreet Boys will always be my number 1. Johnny Rocket is with me on that one. They're not even my guilty pleasure anymore. They were probably in 05, but now full on. Seen him 6 times. Really wanted to go see him in Vegas at the Sphere, but A, Memorial Cup takes precedence.
Yeah.
B, I'm not going to that stupid country for 4 years, so 4.
Where we at?
Please.
We got 3
I
left?
have 4, 8, and 9 left.
Pond to Replay by Rihanna.
Oh, that's 4. That's easy in the top 5.
And we're going to close it out with Mr. Brightside by The Killers.
Uh-oh. Yep. I'm hoping we're going to like that more than number 9, so that's going to go 8.
And we're going to wrap it up like I should have done 7 months ago. Beautiful Soul by Jesse McCartney.
It's also
And then I would be able to go to the Memorial.
Yeah. That's also your karaoke go-to.
It is very much my karaoke go-to.
Would that be
song.
in your top 3 if this was turned around on you?
Beautiful Soul?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Probably. You'd probably hate this, but I'd probably put it between Incomplete and Photograph. I'd probably have my number 2. Yeah. So that's...
I'm an Incomplete, Photograph, Best of You, Pond to Replay. I take you to the candy shop. Hollaback Girl, Give a Damn is Busted, Mr. Brightside, Beautiful Soul, and We Belong Together.
Love it. That was good.
So many good tunes then.
Yeah. There was the list.
That's the worst part is trying to narrow down a list for you and I.
There was so many good songs in 2005. Like I could have done 30. But blind ranking 30 songs would probably take a half an hour.
Yeah.
And we don't have time for that. But no, that was fun. It was. I can't believe some of those songs are.
I'm okay. I'm all right. We're good.
That's why they call it a funny bone.
Yeah, that's what I call it. Starts with an F and it's 4 letters long. There we go. We're good.
Oh,
I'm alive.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, and to think like those songs that come out, like I wasn't going to the clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Taking care of a 1-year-old. So for me to hear those, it was a lot of satellite radio.
Was like my prime, my prime.
Your prime years.
Prime, like
prime in what's that bar in Amherst that you and Mallory were saying? The D.
Oh, the Club D.
Club D.
When Dooley's turns into a dance club.
Was that your prime years there, or was that?
Oh yeah.
Or was that the island prime years?
Yeah, that was 2005. Like I was living on the island.
Yeah.
A lot of trips to the Velvet Underground. Dirty V, as it likes to be called. Dirty V, Peaks Key, Myron's, were some of the places Old Dublin pub, just some great spots on the island. And then you come home on the weekends, you go to the Rock and Rodeo, you go to the O2, you go to Cosmo, you go to, Captain Dan's in the summertime out in Point Sheen. 2005 was I think
year.
the best year for music.
Yeah.
Like I don't think you'll find a year with just the variety of music, everything country, like dance, pop, rock, R&B, just the best year for music.
And it was all separate. Like there was pop was doing its own thing, and rock was doing its own thing, and metal and country, and like you had the Much Music Video Awards, the MTV Video Awards, the CMAs. Like it wasn't. Now it just feels like it's all the same drivel. Like it's all country to pop. It just crosses over. Like back then you had what, Shania that crossed over in the late 90s. None of these songs would have crossed over to any, like Give a Damn Is Busted was not going on to 91.9 The Bend, for instance. And Mr. Brightside was not going, or Beautiful Soul was not going to 96.9. Like that's the type of music you've had now. It's just feels like everything is kind of the TikTok nation where it's 3 minutes and it's all the same and can be played all over the place. And because they were streaming now, so that's how you have to get as many platforms as you can for the type of music. The
top crossover song of 2005 was probably Over and Over Again by Nelly and Tim McGraw. Like that was a good collaboration. That was probably the slow song to close out every night at the Rockin' Rodeo. But just
I wonder if he played that when he was here.
I think he did. I think he did. Just a really, really good year for tunes.
We're gonna split this off into a dad podcast, early 2000s music podcast, and a hockey. But let's stick to hockey now.
News and notes from around the Q.
We had some awards handed out, some Golden Puck awards.
And some questionable decisions.
That we'll get into right meow. We're just breaking microphones here. The David Desharnais Award for the most sportsmanlike player while being effective. Well, I would hope that that's part of the award. The winner was Julius Sump. Nominees were Matthew Butler and Philip of Valdor. And what else do we got here? What's the other one? Guy Carbonneau, Malofsky won it. St. Denis and Vidicek from Moncton were nominees for that. The Kevin Lowe Trophy, Alex Carr won from Rouyn-Noranda. Anthony Lavoie and Pierre-Olivier Roy from Rimouski were the nominees in that one. The Marcel Filion Picard from Armada. Yeah, GM of the year. Danny Dupont from Rimouski and Taylor McDougall from Moncton. Nominees. We'll come back to that in just a minute. Rookie of the year, you hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yep.
I saw that coming from a mile away.
Matt Vidgerdine from Shawinigan, Thomas Rousseau, and Lars Steiner from Rouyn-Noranda. I wasn't even close.
You had Legit Sackos? Chad
Sackos. Yeah. I had the team.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, not even close on that one. The Paul DeMont Personality of the Year. I mean, it's pretty easy to look at who's going to be Personality of the Year. We haven't seen a player for Moncton that's had a personality since that guy.
Yeah.
Nominees: Justin Carbonneau from Blainville and Linders Feilberg from Sherbrooke. And Raymond Lagasse Trophy, goaltender or Defensive Rookie of the Year, William Lassell from Rimouski, Lucas Beckman, and Benjamin Cossette-Oyette were nominees. Going back to the GM of the Year, I think the Armada were more Coach of the Year with what they did after the trade deadline. That's obviously not going to work because he was fired. But it just shocks me that not even Taylor, it shocks me that he didn't win, but what Danny Dupont did in Rimouski, to rebuild that whole team from the ground up. I don't understand it. Maybe they were just like, well, you guys are going to the Memorial Cup. You're going to win other awards. Let's give it to a different guy, which if that's the theory, then don't even nominate him. Because how many years have we come on here and the top team won the award? Mm-hmm. And we should be good that it wasn't just the top team loading up that won GM of the Year. But yeah, he traded Fauchon.
Made bank.
And they got Goryanov. They got Hamel. I would argue it's more of a coaching thing that allowed them to have the second half that they had than it was the GM.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree. But I think I said it on our post game on Saturday. I think there's a couple other trophies that Taylor McDougall would like to win.
Yep.
GM of the year would be nice, but there's a couple other ones out there that I think he'd rather be lifting over his head and holding. So I don't think he's gonna put a fuss about it. And there's the job's not finished. His job will be, and I don't mean this on a job security level, but his job will be, the job he did will be proven in the next week to 3 weeks, really. That's the trophies that I think he'd rather have in his back pocket compared to GM of the year. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, he's the success that he's graded on is not you won GM of the year, but you didn't get the banners.
Yeah,
his success is graded on the banners. And then they followed that up with the All-Star teams.
Oh yes.
First All-Star, former Moncton goalie Jacob Steinman, 29-16, 2.41 goals against, and a .923 save percentage in 52 games. Defenseman Xavier Villeneuve of Blainville, 62 points in 61 games. Defenseman Alexis Bernier from Baie-Comeau, 56 points in 59 games. Jonathan Fauchon from Blainville and Rimouski, 103 points in 64 games. Justin Carbonneau from Blainville, 89 points in 62 games. And then our own Caleb Desnoyers, 84 points in 56 games. That was your first All-Star team. Your second All-Star team.
It's like they didn't even look around the rest of the league.
It's like they didn't. Yeah. Riley Mercer, Drummondville. Not going to argue with that. 27-15, 2.53, 925 save percentage in 46 games. Ty Higgins, Rouyn-Noranda. His D partner, Alex Carr, 67 and 45 points, respectively. Anton Verreau from Rouyn-Noranda, 85 points. Sam Oliver from Drummondville, 78 points. Luke Woodworth, 84 points from Drummondville. Just all Rouyn-Noranda and Drummondville.
Like you're telling me like Etienne Morin didn't make an All-Star?
Yeah. You're telling me Philip Bayou wasn't an All-Star?
Yeah.
You're telling me Malofsky wasn't an All-Star? Justin Poirier? Cam Squires?
Well, that's why, folks. That's why those teams don't count. The real one, right here.
Yeah, the real one.
It's now time for the one and only Boucher's Team of the Week.
We had to give that intro one more time.
Team of the year.
Yeah.
You're going to hear a lot of familiar names. It's no, that should be no surprise. I didn't sugarcoat this at all. But I also kind of gave my own little spin as to why. So in nets, I also have Jacob Steinman, of course, just based on, the numbers he put up with Moncton in the first half and Halifax in the second half. You were going to two different teams, and for him to still, do the work that he did in Halifax, it speaks for itself. It warrants an all-star selection. So I'm in full agreement with the league on that one. Xavier Villeneuve, we saw him with the under 18s. He's quietly becoming one of the best defensemen in the league at 17. He's going to be an NHL drafted goal defenseman here in a couple months. And I think with the way that Blainville looks next season, he's going to have a much bigger year. They're going to be loading up and going for a run. And, he's going to be quarterback on their power play and just putting up points like left and right. Ty Higgins, this is my favorite one because he led all defensemen in scoring, but still somehow finished the season with a -4. I don't get it.
Second team All-Star.
Power play points. Etienne Morin was a +50.
Yep.
And nothing. Philip Bayou, 52 points in the second half. like out of nowhere, like
Yeah.
RKO out of nowhere.
Yeah.
In the second half to finish third in league scoring, third, when he only had like 32 points in the first half. Sam Oliver, the only 50-goal scorer this season.
Makes sense.
And doesn't get an all-star?
His second team.
Second. Okay, sorry, right. And I couldn't finish it off without Caleb. 11 game-winning goals, league leading plus minus, and 1.5 points per game, which I think is also the most in the league.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to find out our MVP nominees here yesterday, but Tuesday after we recorded. I hope he's on there. I hope he's on there with Fauchon.
Should be.
And I don't know who your third nominee would be for for MVP of the league. You're going to have Fauchon. You're going to have Denway. Maybe Carbonell.
I mean, with respect to Fauchon, he played on two teams.
But he had 50 points with each team.
50 points, yeah.
That's why he would be the MVP. Nominee.
So him,
Denway, and then I don't know who you put third. Like, you can make a case for Woodworth. I mean, without him, with 66 assists in Drummondville. You just talked about Philip Veilleux, Verreau, and of course these are kind of leading scorers. But I think you could make a case with Woodworth because he was the heartbeat of that team. So I think if I had to pick the three nominees, and again, this is going to come out after we potentially could have these announced, and if not, later on, I would say Fauchon, Denway, and Woodworth, and I think Denway's got a hell of a shot to be the MVP of the league.
Yeah, I mean,
if those are your nominees,
like correct me if I'm wrong, but did he not get off to like a slow start this season?
Caleb?
Yeah, like when I say slow, like I mean he wasn't putting up, 2 to 3 points a game. Like it was, maybe I'm just.
No, he had. He was having he had one game with 5 points against St. John, but the rest of them were like 2, 2, 2, 1. He had 13 points in 15 points in 7 games. No, 15 points in 13 games. So he was a point a game player, but he wasn't putting up the points he was in the second half.
Yeah. So and then he missed a couple games.
Yeah.
Like he led the league in points per game, 11 game-winning goals, almost had a franchise record for most game-winning goals in a season. So,
and he could have been number 2. He only played 56 games.
Yeah,
like he missed the end of the year with rest for the playoffs. We'll call it
load management.
Load management. He only had 56. Fauchon 64, Carbonell 62, Veilleux 64, Verreau 63, Woodworth 61, Zonin 64.
Yeah,
like. He's got a heck of a shot to do it.
Yeah, I think I can't even tell you. I think I picked Steinman to be my team MVP this year. Did I not?
No, we both picked Pekarczyk.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, that's not wrong either.
No.
He's been phenomenal, but no, Caleb's having a just monster year.
Yeah, you can't tell he's nervous. You can't tell the pressure is getting to him with the draft year. Like it's just like any other year. Another week, another coaching change. The Tigers have announced they were parted ways with Remy Royer after he took over for Carl Millette. I just translated something. They met with, or Carl Millette met with the Armada. So a name there. I don't know if he's a. Yeah, all right. The smile might say it all. Met with the Armada, eh? All right, well, that answers that question.
To sign a contract, maybe.
No, okay. Pen to paper. And I don't know if it's the bigger shock, but Louis Robitaille has parted ways with Cape Breton to go to the VHL organization in the All-Russian Hockey League. 72.
When you would rather live in Russia
Cape Breton
than in Sydney, Nova
Scotia. 72, 49, and 5-5 in his last 2 years, or in his 2 years there. Good coach for them. Just like he changed the culture there.
Yeah.
Got him to the 3rd round last year. But
that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That was a surprise. I heard that on Sunday. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there was talk about a Q coach going to Russia, but I'm just like, okay. See you, Louis. maybe hinted on Twitter that Sylvain Couturier could be the next one out, but we'll see.
Do you know who Drew Bear wants as the coach?
Oh, he sends me like 80 names a day.
Yeah. He likes Bibeau.
Yeah, he's not leaving Chicoutimi.
Yeah, that's the coach he wanted, and I was like, that's a good young coach.
Probably gets paid more in Chicoutimi than he would in Cape Breton.
Yeah.
So
that's better than recycling an old name.
Yep.
That would be great for them with it. You're starting to rebuild. That's a good name to rebuild with. It'd be tough for a first-time coach to start that, but he could start as a young coach from the ground up and go with it. And I was waiting to see what name he was going to come up with, and I was like, who do you want? And then he told me, and I was like, okay, that's not the worst name you could have come up with. So
I'm sure we'll get other names.
Which is the more attractive job, Cape Breton or Victoriaville?
At this point?
Because we don't know the pieces that the Eagles are going to send away. I mean, the Tigers are sending second overall pick. That would probably make it more attractive.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you had to look at it, there could be more. We'll say the Armada one's taken care of. But if you were to look at those two teams, which I think Victoriaville might be the more attractive market, might be the more attractive job.
They were also a tire fire this year.
Oh, so bad.
So I don't know if I want to get into that. But, I mean, if they are truly building from the ground up, maybe. But, I mean, if Sylvain Couturier is leaving Cape Breton to go to the new junior A team in Bathurst, they're going to be starting fresh too.
Yeah.
So I think both would probably be promising opportunities for a young coach. I think the worst case scenario for Cape Breton would be to bring in an old guy that's just going to have the young players hate their lives.
Yeah.
I think they need a young head coach with experience, something like with Halifax did with Andrew Lord, paid his dues in the ECHL.
Yeah.
Coach of the year a couple times, and then comes the Q. It's I think they've got a couple good guys behind the bench, but I'm just not sure if they're ready for that next step. So they see if they get a Jim Midgley.
Mm-hmm.
Who's got pro experience, coached in Mooseheads for a long time. He's in the PWHL right now. Do you get a Troy Ryan? Do you get a Fabian Joseph? Do you get does Gordy Dwyer go to Cape Breton if Newfoundland doesn't renew his contract? There's several names out there that could, that are familiar with the Q, but they can go and poach someone from the US if they wanted to.
Yep. It's an interesting story to pay attention to, and considering the draft is in just over a month or so ish.
Less than a month.
Yeah. And two teams don't have a coach. One potentially might not have a general manager. It's fun to pay attention to, but we got other things to look at before we get to that one little thing. Some scheduling news. Looks like the Moncton Wildcats are heading to the Rock for their franchise home opener. Now, I read this as the season's going to open on the Thursday. Moncton's going to play Newfoundland in their home opener, not on the Thursday. I truly hope it's not on the Thursday, because I think, well, I told you why I think, but the Thursday game should be the league champion game. Like, either Rimouski or Moncton should not be on the road for the very first game of the year, in my opinion.
I mean, unless they're starting the season, 2 weeks earlier than it did last year? Because it started on the 20th,
21st, because I was in Tampa then.
Okay. Well, still, that would mean if Moncton's or Rimouski,
yeah,
then that would mean they're starting on either the 12th or 13th of September.
Sure. So
it would be at least 10 days earlier. I don't know. I can't see it. Yeah.
And Stefan Leroux, in his article from RDS, the travel, 12 Quebec-based teams will travel to Newfoundland for 2 games every other year. For example, next year, Newfoundland will play 2 games at the Mary Brown Centre against Rimouski, Bacomo, Shawinigan, Drummondville, Gatineau, and Blainville. And then the next year they'll play the other teams at home. And then the Eagles will they'll get the opposites. Like, it's a weird schedule to fly over. So I was trying to read it, trying to comprehend it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to wait till the schedule comes out and you play who you're playing against and you go from there. I see
all you can do.
Yeah. I see how it makes sense to send 6 over now, 6 over then. But yeah, let's just wait till we get there. Eh?
Yeah.
All right.
No sense looking 6 months.
Nah.
Not even 6 months. 4 months ahead of time.
No, I just would if their home opener is Moncton. Hey, honey, you want to go to Newfoundland for a weekend?
Weekly Rewind.
Cote, he's in deep. Has Collar with him, centering pass in front, and Lascelles out. Puck is still banging away, and they score. In double overtime, the Wildcats take it, and will head to Rimouski with a 2-0 series lead. And I think it was Vincent Collard who finally comes up with this puck.
Vincent Collard. Oh, the goal that gave us a 2-0 series lead as the series shifts back to Rimouski.
Oh my dear.
Before we talk about the actual games, I want to talk about them, the fans, the building, the atmosphere. We talked about it on the live a little bit on Saturday night. I talked about it. I was interviewed for the news on Global. They didn't use that, but they used a little bit of it. That atmosphere in the Saturday specifically, but it trailed into Sunday, was something that, unless this thing comes back for a chance to win a hat and a T-shirt on Saturday night, was one of the best atmospheres this building may see for another 4 years.
Not even going to argue. 110% agree. Saturday was the best atmosphere for a game since 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And Sunday was probably the best game since that Rimouski game where Pelche scored in overtime.
Yeah.
So, best atmosphere Saturday, best game Sunday.
And it was a lot because of these.
Yeah.
Like the towels. For as good as they do, like, you knew you were qualifying for the playoffs in February. These should have been for game 1, game 2 of round 1, and then tell people to bring their towels because they were a difference maker. Mm-hmm. It looked amazing with 85-12. It looked awesome with 65-12.
Yeah.
It would look the same with 5,000 for game 1 against Quebec. Like, it adds a different level. It looked awesome on TV. You were with the fans. Mm-hmm. I had to wear earplugs. It was loud. It was so loud in there because once there's certain numbers, they crank up the volume. But I'm with you. Like, I have not seen a game or an atmosphere like that since the Pelche. And even the double overtime game 7 Barbashev goal.
Yeah, there was only 4,000.
There was half the people in the building.
Yeah.
But it was just unbelievable. It's too bad it took till game 1 and 2 of the finals. Like, it's too bad those weren't in the first couple rounds when tickets were a little bit cheaper. But it's still, like, everything was fantastic from the puck drop. Like, you felt it when you walked into that building. It was louder for the warm-up than it was for most of the nights during the regular season. Like, you just felt it was different when you walked into the building.
Yeah, it was incredible. Just even being down in amongst the fans on Saturday, you said it for the warm-up. Like, it was, I've never heard the crowd in Moncton like that respond for when players are coming out for warm-ups. Like, it was loud. It was crazy. Just being in the crowd was fun too. Like, it's really hard to explain. It was just a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of fun. somehow Daniel St. Louis picks me out amongst 9,000 people. Man,
it's obvious. Somebody watching the show, saw your beautiful face.
Man of the people. It was. How
did Avery enjoy it? Because that's what, like her 5th game.
She was tired. I think she had gymnastics right before the game, so she wasn't really into it. But I think if she would have had time to have a nap after gymnastics before the game, I think she probably would have enjoyed it a little more. But no, at the end of the regular season, I said I'll take you to the next game, the next afternoon game is what I said, and really it was like it's all been Fridays and Saturdays at 7 p.m. right? And it's so I think we kind of lucked out the time on the Saturday at 5 p.m. on a Saturday, which I think was the first 5 p.m. game on a Saturday in team history. I think Sunday was the first 7 p.m. game on a Sunday in team history. So just weird schedule, but that's what you got to do when you want to get the London Knights in prime time. Anyways, we're not going to debate scheduling here. Both games were, hard. It's really hard to describe. Like I still can't find a way to describe it. Wins. I mean, you can say you got wins. Just the buy-in from the fans and the passion, the energy, the atmosphere. It was second to none.
That's what surprised me the most. Is it was blackout. Hey, we're doing whiteout. And I was like, I don't know if the fans are going to buy into this one. I've never been a fan of the whiteout with the black jerseys or the dark jerseys. Like Winnipeg started this with the white jerseys. I think when you get to the playoffs in the NHL, the CHL, the AHL, the whatever HL, when you get to the playoffs, the home team should decide. So if they want to do whiteout, they can wear white jerseys. Like Calgary gets away with it because it's road red. But if they go to white, the sea of red, it'll look kind of funny with white jerseys. So, but the fans bought in, and there was more white in the crowd for the first game, and even the second was a little worse, but the fans were buying in, and I think that was the best part. They were upset, like, well, they wanted blackout. I bought a black jersey. I spent this much money. I was like, guys, just do it. Like,
if you have $200 to buy a black jersey, you have $8 to buy a white T-shirt.
Yeah, or somewhere like I don't own any white stuff. Go to the Value Village for $3 and buy a white T-shirt. Like, it's just they gave away towels. And all the towels were on the seats. I walked in and I was like, thank God. I didn't want them to just start handing them out to people. I wanted them to be on all the seats. It just looked so much cooler. It was just a fun night. Now let's go on the ice. I don't think one of the quickest starts in the playoffs, but I don't think I've seen a better 40 minutes from this hockey club against arguably a 1B lineup. If we're a 1A, sorry, if we're 1 and they're 1A on depth and talent and lineup, I don't think I've seen a better effort in a long time against a team with that much talent. To hold them to 3 shots in the first period, 4 shots in the second period. Again, a theme of this playoffs, like I said to Vidicek in the post game, we get a goal, it gets disallowed. This team continues to have resolve and continues to keep going. Caleb with the highlight of the night pass, like everything was going for that hockey club with 8,500 people jazzed up in that building. It was an impressive effort to watch.
Yeah, it really was. And I still can't get that Dinwiddie assist out of my head. This isn't some bad D team. Like, this is a very, very good team. He walked around some really good players, and there was some oohs and ahs when that happened, and you could hear it at ice level too. The first
4 feet.
Or
4 sets of skates.
Yeah, the first 40 minutes, arguably their best they played in a while, and you knew that Rimouski was going to come back in the third period, and they did. And their only goal they got was a lucky one too. Like, I think it went off Mercier's stick, but It was all Wildcats, and you expected it too. Like Rimouski they had just gotten out of a long seven game series. You know that overtime in game 7 doesn't help either. And then they didn't actually get to Moncton until 24 hours before the game. Right? They landed Friday afternoon at 5:00. Usually, if you're flying, you'd come in the day before to get in a skate, but they skated at home.
Apparently, I heard that was because there was no ice. It was tough to get ice here to practice because there's speed sport.
There was speed
and
sport.
Then there was come from away, so there was tough time for them to find ice. So
that's possible. But
I thought it was weird too when I saw them practice.
Wildcats had to have practiced.
Yeah, I don't know where they would have practiced.
So I mean, it's southeastern New Brunswick. You can probably rent the ice in Alma, New Brunswick, and go for a nice lobster dinner if you want to. But
I mean, there's 2 seats of ice in the Dieplex.
Yep. There's Byron Dobson in Riverview. There's Jay Louie. There's the Fourplex. There's
if there's men's rec hockey, there's ice for QMJHL team.
Yeah, that's what I understand. Like it's so I don't know if that was a disadvantage to Rimouski. You get in here at Friday at 5:00. You're checking your hotel. You go for supper. You wake up and all of a sudden it's game time.
Yeah, and an early game time on a Saturday.
Yeah. So they almost had no time to adjust to the time change.
Yeah,
and it's I think if I were them, I would have came in on Thursday, but that's just me. And but Moncton took advantage. They knew that they were a tired group. They were a banged up group, and they took advantage of their opportunities, and I think got a pretty easy game 1 victory.
Yeah. I think the time coming in, now your game's at 4:00, so everything kind of gets pushed up. I honestly, like you, I wish the times would have been flipped. I think if the times would have been flipped, you would have saw 8,500 people Saturday and 8,500 people Sunday. I think
I agree.
When you take families out of the equation, you're only going to get, 7:00 on a Sunday, and then it goes into overtime and that's probably why people at 7:00 if it goes to overtime. But yeah, that Saturday game, like it looked like Rimouski was tired, and it looked like Moncton had a game plan to jump on him early, stay on him the whole time. The goalie interference,
questionable.
We're still never going to know what goalie interference is. I think the reason it was called back is I think Collard skated into the defenseman to initiate the contact. So when he bounced off him, that's when he touched Langevin, who was good. He was good in that game.
It's probably 7-1 if not for him. So
well, I don't know. LaSalle was pretty good in game 2. We go to game 2. I think it was more. I know it was more. I thought we were going to see back and forth tight check, and you saw Rimouski get away from kind of the shift from the third period in game 1 to this one. They were doing what they did against Shawinigan. They were extending the neutral zone to make Moncton's defense back up, and that helps forecheck. They outlast them 4-3 in double overtime on a scramble goal from Collard, as you saw. It was a heavyweight tilt. This is what we thought we were going to see, with each team landing punches, each team landing unbelievable goalie saves. This one was just something else. You want to watch it again? My heart dropped as soon as I saw that puck coming across. I was like, "Oh, they got caught puck watching," and he gets over and gets a blocker on that. And that was what I think 2 minutes after Moran ripped one off the post.
Yeah.
LaSalle made a glove save. I think just after that too, like it was a display by both teams. Just that was fun to be a part of.
Yeah, and it was LaSalle who made that save on Sump late in the third period. I said, remember that one?
Yep.
And little they know, he came back and tied the game up. So it was. I think both games were, from a Rimouski standpoint, their goalies were phenomenal, but Moncton's goalies were good too.
Yeah.
I think in game 2, Rimouski just took advantage of their opportunities. I think they only had 12 shots through 2 periods and had 2 goals.
Yeah.
So they took advantage of their chances, and Moncton was getting quality scoring chances. I think Moncton did everything in the first overtime except for score. And you had to wonder if that was going to affect them, going into the second overtime, but they got it done pretty quickly. Fortunately for me.
5, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16, 18. And so, half their shots were dangerous shots.
Yeah.
22 of 46 were dangerous shots, which is that triangle inside the neutral offensive zone there. But, and the goals that Rimouski scored, like it was a pass out, Jack Martin standing wide open.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to miss from there. Well, he's not. He put a beautiful shot on Rudy. Catafor got one. Fauchon, just a beautiful rip. Look, Dylan McKinnon takes the penalty. I question the coach's decision to pull the goalie with like 3 minutes left. I get it. A 6-on-4, you're down by 1. If they score, you still have time to kind of maybe come back and get 2.
But that decision.
That's why they traded for him, right?
Those are some giant nuts.
Yeah.
Some big nut decision right there by Joel Perreault to go 6-on-4 with that much time left in the game.
And they were this far away from the tip.
Just the tip is all you need.
Just
sometimes.
the tip.
Yeah.
Just the tip. Just the tip.
Gets the job done.
Yeah. Special teams has been the difference in this series so far. Moncton is 3 for 5 and 4 for 4 on the penalty kill.
Wow.
And we've asked for it. We've been out here for 38 weeks on this show, and I think we've asked for it 32 times. Talk about the power play. 3 of 5. The goal they scored there, Vidicek from Pekarchek, just a beautiful pass right to him. The goal that Pekarchek scored to take the lead 5 minutes in, walking around a guy.
Another highlight of the night.
Another highlight, beautiful shot. It just everything was coming up Moncton, from the crowd to the team. It's a fantastic start to the series, but now with it shifting back to Rimouski, they're 3-7 on the road.
Mm-hmm.
They're 9-0 at home. So you want to talk about a whiteout here that was good. The fans in Rimouski have bought in. It's a smaller rink. Again, I don't think Moncton's going to be intimidated going to that rink. I think the experience of getting the victory there will be big for him. But I think we're going to see Rimouski's all-out best effort in Game 3. Like, this is as must-win as a must-win isn't without being a must-win. This is a must-win for Rimouski.
Yeah, 100%. Their coach wouldn't call it a must-win. He just said it's an important game.
Yeah.
And I have to agree. It's if Rimouski takes Game 3, it's a brand new series. If Moncton wins Game 3, they've got a stranglehold. So I think this is the most crucial game of the series. If Moncton happens to lose Game 3, they've still haven't lost back-to-back games all season.
Mm-hmm.
So, look, if they can get one game in Rimouski, we get a chance to close it out on home ice Saturday. So I'm not, we looked at the Rouen series and we said, are we going to see a series finally end on home ice? We both said no, because we both thought it was going to be in 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
Never did I think that series against Rouen would be a sweep. I don't think this is a sweep. I do not think this series is going to be a sweep. I'm not going to say I'm expecting them to lose a game up there.
No, that's never the plan, right?
But
I'll be shocked if they sweep.
Yeah. That's a good way. I'll be amazed. I'd be shocked, amazed. You just fill in the blanks of
superlative.
Yeah. It's not going to be a sweep. It's not. There's no way.
No, that team is a different team at home. And that old saying, you're never in trouble till you lose at home. I mean, technically, yeah. But that team just, even though they're down 0-2, they're not coming back. like ran where they're competing with the Canadians to play, or they're competing with the Leafs to play, or anything like that. That building is going to be full. That building is going to be juiced. That fan base believes in that team, and they want them to be dual champions. And we'd feel the same way if we were hosting. And I think you're going to see a much better effort from Rimouski. I think they've had 2 games now to study. They get 2 days off to rest up. They have I think they only had 4 from the series before, but you could tell they were tired in game 1. They got a little bit of rest, a little bit of a later start Sunday. They were much better in that game. I think 2 days off is a massive benefit for them, because I think they went home a little bit earlier than Moncton did. But again, they're not flying. Both teams are taking the bus. I don't think they're going to get any. I can't remember who asked it in the post game, if they're getting any enforcements back.
Oh, yeah, it was Craig Eagles asking if it
was it Eagles?
Yeah, it was. I'm not sure who it was.
Either Eagles or the guy from CBC.
Yeah, but Coughlin's close. Spencer Gill.
Yeah, Coughlin's skating.
Yeah,
but again, we said this at midway through the first round. If you're Rimouski, there's no rush to get them back.
Yeah.
Yes, you want to go in as the host and the champion, but you're basically almost a healthy lineup. The last thing you want is to get Luke Coughlin in a game 4 that you have to win to extend the series, and something goes even worse, and now he's out for the bigger tournament, right?
Yep.
So I will be 100% shocked if this thing is over in 4. It's funny, I was watching game 1 of the Tigers in Spokane, and I messaged you knowing you were asleep. I said, Medicine Hat's going to be a problem if we get to where we want to get to. If they get to where we are, I don't think they're going to be a problem compared to what we saw defensively. You kind of forget after waiting 9 days to see what this team can do. Again, I can't remember who it was that asked about the goaltending rotation. Oh, no, it was on the broadcast, the TSN broadcast. Laura asked Craig Button if they continue to rotate. And he's like, if I know Gardner, he's going to do what's best for the team. If that's rotating goalies, he's going to do it. If that's feeling that he's going to have a hot hand, that's going to do it. We saw in the Baie-Comeau series that they rotated, and then Rudy got the elimination game after, got 2 games in a row. We could come into a situation where Brousseau plays game 3, they win, and he gets the chance as a 20-year-old to shut the door in game 4. I think this team right now, Gardner as the puppet master, is pulling all the right strings that this team absolutely 100% believes in anything he says. Yeah, no, I think they bought into Gardner from the moment, they stepped on the ice in training camp. These you can tell they're motivated to play for him, and they know that he's got the winning pedigree and the experience to get the team to where they want to be, and they're a couple wins away from step 1. So I don't think there's any need to change anything right now going up to Rimouski. Nope. Change not a damn thing. Are you ready for everyone's favorite part of the show? Yes, sir. All righty.
Eric Murray, Realtor. Buy your house from him. Stick Tap of the Week.
We had a visitor with us in the press box on Sunday.
Sure did.
And we know it's a friend of the show who's been listening to us for many, many years. And we knew that one day she was going to make it, and she did. So want to give a shout out to Veronique Alstino, who was helping out the Q with their content on Sunday at game 2. So she's been so loyal to the organization for many, many years, and she's kind of studying to do this kind of stuff at university, right? So for her to get this opportunity was awesome, and I thought the video that she was able to get of the fan reaction to the overtime goal was awesome. I hope that didn't mean she missed it, but
I hope you did this.
Yeah, I hope you were just pointing your phone to the crowd and actually watching the play on ice. Yep. But good for her. She's she's clearly passionate about hockey, and she knows what she wants to do in life, and hope she's around. That she's clearly got a really bright future in hockey if it happens to be what she decides to pursue.
Yep, and she's helped us on the road with pictures and all kinds of things for us. So she's killing it. I have an honorable stick tap.
Oh yes,
it goes to our friend One Wild Willie. Because I did some investigative reporting this afternoon, found out that he was asked multiple times for the wave during the third period and into overtime, and he shut it down.
Yes,
every time. He's like, no, I'm not doing it in the third period. I'm not doing it in overtime. So I said, once I found that out, I was like, you know what? I will give you an honorable stick tap for finally shutting that down.
Yep.
And not doing that, because most of the game is the worst. We joked with Raph from the Q.
If you can ban air horns, can you ban the wave?
He's like, I was like, just think about it. That's all we're asking. I know it's a little tougher. Just think about it. But Wild Willie does it for the fans for most of the game, so we get it. We don't like it. But when it mattered the most in the third period and in overtime, he shut it down.
Good.
So he gets an honorable stick tap.
Awesome.
The Stick Tap of the Week, sponsored by Eric Murray Real Estate with the Remax Avante team. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the Greater Moncton or surrounding area, make sure to check him out on social media or give him a call at 506-863-8802.
All right, and that brings us to the Wildcat of the Week, presented by Rosemary, Lynns Massage and Spa. They've got a new location. They're down right now. So they've got a new location, 153 McLeese Drive. I'm not sure. I'm thinking the phone number will change, but like I said, they're relocating. Their phones are down till May 8th. But when they come back, spa, teeth whitening will be available for booking for $85. 3 15-minute sessions will be included in that service price, and add another $15 for only $20. Don't forget, they've got the loyalty card. It's 9 spa services, get 1 free. Call them at 506-830-1224 starting May 12th. It's back when they're open, and stop in at 153 McLeese Drive. We got to stop there for our cold tub.
Our cold plunge, our ice bath.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I've said it every week. It's now 4 or 5 weeks. Score an overtime winner. You find yourself on this segment, and I could have given it to a couple other players. He had 2 goals on the weekend.
Cote, he's in deep. Has Collard with him, centering pass in front, and Lascelles out. Puck is still is making way, and they score.
Ken
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Vince Collard.
2 goals in both games in the finals. So your Wildcat of the week is number 15, Vincent Collard. Or Collard, depending on which team is trying to cover this. Honorary Wildcat of the week to Uri Karchek. He had 2 goals, 2 assists in the finals so far. His pass on the first goal in game 2. I showed you the picture that Daniel St. Louis took. With Lascelles' arm out, there was that much room underneath it. And Pekarchek put it right through his arm to Sumph. Like, it was just unbelievable. That'll do it for this week. Again, watch parties at both sports locker locations for games 3 and 4 tonight and tomorrow. As well, there's another location for a watch party. Stefan Cormier has put together a watch party at the Moncton Curling Club for games 3 and 4. Doors open about 6:30. The games are at 8. So if you can't get to the Sports Rock or they're full, head down to the Moncton Curling Club on 80 Lockhart Avenue. 2 down, 2 to go. Probably the most nervous 2 games we'll watch here in the next week.
Yeah, I'll be sitting awfully close to the screen. So
Yeah.
Be this close.
Yeah.
All right.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
You know what?
Let's get it over with.
Nowhere else I'd rather be
Nope.
than 2 games away from a championship.
Exactly.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Wildcast podcast. Follow us on social media at Moncton Wildcast.